And tonight I'll be your host, Omar Champion Cham, alongside
Ibrahim Korea, state name, state beast.
yes. So the National Poet Islam, as you all might have known, was actually initiated to give the platform and the opportunity for young people to showcase their talents through the art of poetry. So today, we will have the opportunity to witness another set of stars, and it's going to be done in grand fashion. So like we always say, sit back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful poetry that is going to be displayed as far as tonight is concerned. But we have a theme that is guiding us, and it is called the ballot, the vote, the future. And I want us to repeat this together so that we can know how important this theme is, right? Are you ready?
Yep.
The ballot, the vote, the future. So we say it together after the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
The ballot,
The vote, the future. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, so we move on to introduce, the people, the reasons why we're even here. They're the ones I believe that matter a lot tonight, and most of you have come here to basically support them. So the first one is Modu Lamin Keta. Give him a round of applause. For the first time in the history of the National Poet Islam, someone is going to perform from overseas. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like he'll be in Spain and he'll perform and he'll be here. Ami Sona? Bindu Sane? Adam Mboy?
So I don't call this a competition because they are here for all.
Good evening, attendants. Good evening, the able judges. Good evening, Fatima Lushi, the main brain behind this. Welcome all of you to this very important event. I bring you greetings from ActionAid International, the Gambia. From the director who is currently on leave, to say that we are very much proud to be associated with this event. The theme of the event, the ballot, the vote, the future, is a very relevant theme. It could not have come at a better time for Gambia. For us as Gambians, this is one of the most relevant and current affairs, because we know we go to the polls by December. And making sure that we have a peaceful elections, post, pre, and during elections is very critical. And young people and women are very, very important in these elections, because we know the statistics have shown that women and children are the majority. So when we vote, at the end of the day, whoever is declared a winner, we know the young people have made the decision. Elections is one of those democratic processes that gives everybody, almost 100% of the citizens, an opportunity to take part in a decision. I don't think there is any other process that does that, that is able to do that. Except for reasons of natural reasons or other reasons, everybody has the opportunity to participate in the decision making. So that's why it is important for each and all of us to have the critical information to be able to go and vote, and also in a way that maintains peace. We have seen in the Conflict and Development Analysis report by the UNDP identifying young people as drivers of conflict. And that is why ActionAid has invested more interest in making sure that we engage young people in any form. So any engagement that is going to meaningfully bring together young people, to give them the critical information to nurture and maintain peace, could not be small. Because as I always say, if young people are identified as drivers of conflict, we can turn it around. We can use our time and energy to maintain peace, because peace is the only thing through which we can all strive. As we go to the polls in December, we are not just going to the polls, we are not just going voting, but we are deciding on our future. We are deciding on education, on the university, conditions of the university. We are deciding on safe water provision. We are deciding on our security. We are deciding on infrastructural development. So it's not just as simple as just going to vote, but it's about all those factors that influence our lives and the quality of our life. So it is important that we, when we go to the polls, we have taken informed choices. And I have no doubt that the poets that are coming here to give us the message are going to be those messages that give us those critical information that help us to go and vote wisely. There is no room to entertain conflicts in our society. We as young people, we are determined. I'm saying we, yeah? I'm also a young person, right? I am 47, very young. We are determined to make sure that peace is maintained, because when we don't have peace, we are the ones who face the brunt. For example, in 2016, when we had the standoff, all measures were put in place to save the outgoing and the incoming president. We were left alone to look for shelter, to look for food, you know, some loss of lives. But everything was made, you know, sure that the incoming president is safe, the outgoing is safe. So when we nurture conflict, we are the ones who are going to suffer. The children are the ones who are going to suffer. Women are the ones who are going to suffer. If we had had the intervention of the economic, it would have been very tragic, especially for women. Because as they say, when there is war, it's not just the firing of the bullet, it's about rape, women being raped, water supplies being cut off, electricity being cut off. That is what happens when conflict happens. So we are determined to make sure that there is no conflict, and we are determined to make sure that nobody uses us, because we know in most instances, some people, especially politicians, they benefit from such conflicts. So we make sure that we are not used by anybody to benefit from those conflicts whilst we suffer, our children suffer, and the next generation suffer. Having this said, I am hopeful that this is not just going to be educative, but it's going to be entertaining as well. So I thank you all, and we are very proud to associate ourselves with this process, and I hope that the take-home that we take from here will be beneficial as we go towards the polls in December. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tav.
Attention! Attention! Attention!
Attention! Yang mafatu mawo, yang mafatu. Kumputu mandingo kinjang yang mafatu. Na kanan to kumandi mula bajatul kanan.
An offering of blessings, a sacrifice of patience for a successful generation, rewriting the history of some past stories, a living generation as positive as never, a connection of blessings and wisdom forming unity among villages and communities. We did it. We've done it exactly the way we wanted it done. We are successfully conquering the attention of everyone. Not because we are sons and daughters of our fathers, not because of our voices, but hey, because we are in our cultural attires for the beauty of an African child
Lies on our cultural dress. Reading and watching strange materials keeps us journeying, having strange thoughts and mindset. Forgetting ages past, yet we should be on the same lane with our ancestors. For our traditional, cultural, and religious beliefs and concepts are enough for us as guidelines, sense of direction and way of life. but in the heart and bitter, we overconsumed by Western cultures and ideologies which only ruin and keep us wondering. Why is he wearing the Darafano, him wearing the Chaya, she wearing the Lepi, and I dressed in my Gambian attire? Hey!
We are not apologetic to what we are.
Yes, you might be intellectuals, but mind you,
Intellectuals without conscience are virtual criminals.
As our skin color shines, the word black keeps reflecting in mine. For we were proud Africans in our ancestral attires. Not today, but days when we were very proud. Those were days when Africans wear their rightful attire. Such as the Wolof women wearing the Grand Buba, Mandinkas wearing the Darafano, Fulas wearing the Lepi. Men of all tribes wearing the Chaya to synchronize and symbolize their respective culture.
Man sexy nanisi ident, wan nulisi kalama kochi barba. Kui jambe hamato finga dem delun finga jogi, finga yaro ak finga hame. Kon nen delu fu jamu done suñu natange, parce que ku bañ li nga doon dafa fekk nga gën ci ñaaw, te ku bay sa ànd boo dem fekk fa borom.
Man samana la jikala police nari badina, nari baru, telebe nari batara. Man samana la jikala police nari badina, nari baru, telebe nari batara.
Not only that, but yearn for the nights to learn from grandma's folktale. What an irritating session. For she put into us that there exist no differences between Africans, but oneness and togetherness, which help eradicate sadness, provide life to happiness. The grand indicates that there exists only peace, love, and unity in Africa. Not war, hatred, and disunity, but integrity, solidarity, and unity.
And yes, within our midst, many men are poisoned. Free your mind. For your mind is a fertile soil where things grow and you dwell. Either good or bad, one must be dominant. Though both will be planted, you will be the one to control. See, let's think day by day and avoid thoughts unattended, because if it happens, right, your thinking becomes affected.
What a world do we live? An African speaking English like British learning French, Spanish, and Portuguese but unable to send a mail information in a special language. Oh, an African using chemicals on their skin, spoiling the melanin, forgetting that he who knows the importance of color
Shall cover it with green leaves. And it is said indeed, no matter how long the stick stays in the water, it shall never turn to become a crocodile. This felt filled and sealed with wisdom that change our characters and agile our emotions to be better and spaciously. We are unique.
Amurui ba tiramani ba tambai banna ayeto ni kalala fo tiramani ma sosai jo tiramani.
In the past, it was cultures for cultures and traditions by traditions, not tribes fighting against tribes. That is wrong. But it used to be a Mandinka cultural festival in the past. The first thing you would see is the conqueror holding its cutlasses, singing and dancing the jambarong. When it used to be the Wolof cultural festival, you would see the Zimba dancing the Sabal dance. Oh, when it used to be the Fulani cultural festival, you would see the Nyamakalas dancing the sound of the Nyanyeges. And of course, when it used to be the Jolas, you would see the Kumpu dancing the Bugarabu. When it used to be the Akus, you would see the huntings and the Agugus. And of course, when it used to be the sailors, you would see the gatherings filled with strong men and women waiting to know who the best wrestler was. These were memorable days. It is just not done. That is not Africanism. And we Africans are not known for that.
That shows how unique we are. For unique is the practice of discipline. Understanding is a subset of discipline. Faith holds supreme commander in discipline. Knowing who you are is the real definition of discipline. Believing in yourself is an analysis of discipline. And discipline is being special. Being special is being different. So, we are who we are. This is what makes us different. Because we
are special.
And if it is true that a man can't live without water,
then we Africans can't live without our cultures. This is water for the bloods.
Bali mama say kungoli kali mama sa kungoli kali mama sa kungoli kabali mama sa kungoli kali mama sa bali mama say kungoli kali mama sa kungoli kali mama sa kungoli kabali mama sa kungoli bali mama sa bali mama say kungoli.
flood, heat waves and drought.
Out of control, wildfire devastates places he lives in.
The air he breathes delivers half to the wicked hands of death.
A reckoning for a wrecking of nature through greenhouse emissions, skyrocketing rapid death in 2050.
114 times faster in marine life disappearance, human beings included.
Because seafood is meant for her body using heat. Heat causes heat stress.
Causes illness, summoning extinction into her ecosystem, dumped in turmoil and grief.
You see, Mother Earth is inspiring. She taught us humans to be responsible.
To be happy, hefty, not merely, gave animals the liberty to live, love, display their uniqueness.
The pleasant season oceans manifested in her welcoming arms. But unfortunately, now she is choking in pride.
For the horrific destruction of trees being her own ease, she is losing her breath.
She no more can stand tall. For the building of factories by men poison her lungs.
This is apparent, as sparkling light like the moon illuminating our path is eaten, like how sharks swallow human, and now she's gloomy, more than our shadows.
And maybe another green will save this almost dead green. Like stranded travelers, we have turned to deserts ourselves.
Losing its ground to the sky, the sun says, don't allow me to burn to bleed.
And like how plasma oozes from your pores, I will suck the darkness from the dark.
The darkness that contains your wretched deeds, seas and mountains will stand still and stiff in silly.
We are floating, losing our stand and grip.
When we look but cannot see what we have done to advance, yet decrease in nature, our pattern of climate broken, refusing to collect its dust for the best. So day by day, outbreak blocks, puzzled in days and years.
And slowly, the sun will roast us all, trapping dry chicks of starved children. I'm saying, eating will be like chewing sandwiches.
Eating up our own skin, clothes will be tattered to bandage bones.
That will be terrible, you know. So make the fight your fight.
We run to our arms realizing we are all sinking. In the lines of trees, the culture of killing trees with no replacement of its kind must we not practice. With dangerous weather even so in their faces, we must protect and prevent ourselves rather than regret it. Before game explodes and swallow us in flames.
So when you drop a tree,
You take a life too. When you burn aggressively, you are telling the sun, you know what? Raise your race and get the place blazed.
So take action. Reduce industrial pollution.
promote international consensus on climate change, and most importantly, reduce the importation of old cars.
For one thing we all must understand is,
we are not part of Mother Earth. We are Mother Earth. For when she is doomed, we are doomed. When she lives and creeps in tears, we live and creep in tears.
Again, we call it Arts Day, my very day. With a spark of hope, I write to you, let the Dead Sea live. The so-called our ocean, allow it to breathe. Preserving the integrity of the ocean, the government of the forest, and the validity of the soil should be everyone's concern. Dear humans, I become wetter or drier, and some days warmer or cooler. How I wish we knew trees have tears, oceans have broken hearts, and winds carry thorns. How I wish we knew that there is no natural world anymore. As of now, the climate is the fire that holds water. You keep writing poems about your men raping girls, but no one has ever wrote a poem about me when methane and carbon dioxide find their way into my backyard. Do you think that your environmentalists like pathogen will numb my pains? Maybe. I heard that you are planning to establish a home on Mars because my climate keeps changing. If only you know I am home, I am all you got. You are all fishermen, fishing me of the little I got. You keep swinging conferences that cost me a tree or more. Imagine a world without photosynthesis. I won't live long, but so will you. We are interconnected. Dinosaurs were drove into extinction 65 million years ago. I don't know if I am next. I mean, why would I when the climate keeps changing, when the forests keep hiding under the blue sky, when the pregnant clouds give birth to acid rain, when the deserts have turned to 300 degrees Celsius oven? What more? Earth humans. I am Earth. I am Predator Dark's voice. Know that you're not here to destroy me. You are here to appreciate me. You can conserve the little I have. You can embrace biodiversity. You can write about me because right now I am as hot as the devil's tongue and as cool as the chains. Please do something about climate change before it's too late for you and I.
Boy, We put in work, nigga. Take it, we put in work, nigga. Take it, we put in work, nigga. Take it, man, you taha job, nigga. Fuck you, take it, baladali, you buy take it. You bari in the man, halal put out to take it. Yo, halal put am halis, lala feta, yang you bari money. Halis still a top, and you still a top, let put halis. Gotta rap line, it's not the fucking hard. The way my heart feel like to move it back up in hard, nigga. Feeling everything. Then I'm like my one, but the man says up on my member, be like one moment. So I kept hearing stuck in Eiffel Tower, Mula. Killing laughing, I'm on them, but lady mangi fulla. You might end it down to St. Gale, Lincoln, a buddy. Bitch, so I'm a famous and get the lap of a general nigga. Ben and level. Minga boy, I'm the man, yeah, I do my level. On some next level shit. I joke with you, the pump, the pump, I kill the morning. Yeah, yes, Minga boy, I'm the man, Jappy, man, yeah, yes, hey, yeah, yes, boy, you get told what, yeah, yes,
Tongue twister, you trickster, hardened soul, you've hardened our souls. With decades of empty promises and a lifetime of nightmares, so I'm thinking this through. Before I vote, I'm asking myself, are you worth it? Because there is a giant wall between your beliefs and our needs. Your unrealistic manifesto, your paper-decorated policies, and while most of you are scammers, continuing old systems, many don't know, because in this country, half a dozen are half-educated with big mouths, shouting their ignorance into audio notes. Because our leaders are misleaders. But tell them, never again would you buy me, my vote, my voice, and I listen to your voice. I don't hear you talk medicine because you make me sick on these poorly narrow roads. Tell me, how would you solve security? Our prisons are stinking, the state house is sinking, and our markets are flooded with garbage and rubbish. My father's culture is agriculture, so tell me ecosystem. Tell me education system. Tell me solar energy for when our generators die, because we need solutions. Not excuses, not lies. Tell us means, your ends, be careful. Bad people have turned politics into a helm of beasts leading us into civil war. So we fight those right, yet claim to be right, but sit down on side while the ruthless fight for might in broad daylight, plaguing our society into blight. Listen to me, let us welcome the beginning of a new dawn through the ballot, a voting season, a voting season. A voting season, huddled in the palms of a leader, leading to this nation's progress so that we follow, so that generations rejoice, be proud of their ancestors holding up a memento. The path, forged in ambition, unity, strength, discipline, bravery, and tears to forever bask in the sweet melody of peace and development. So hold us close, like Dimbaya. Care for our Simaya. Strengthen this lifetime Hadamaya. Do not torture us with Jahaliba. You may be a political Jaliba, but don't kill this Dikiba. Rule us with Balafa Ba, and remember this from the national anthem. Our promise we renew. Keep us, great God of nations, to the Gambia ever true.
Is that the sound your people make in the box? I am a bird, but fly without wings. While trees cease to breeze on a sunny day, I found myself in the outskirts of that country. I possibly could remember the name, but wouldn't. Because when thoughts ripped towards the girl I saw said to me, that I had just said that your vote is your voice, but let me whisper these to you. Because I was part of those with long tongues, preach peace, because today my future isn't the command of the gun. See, Father said, But you can choose to not listen to me. Because even your lines you forced me to memorize, turn them into songs and asked me to dance, and I did until my feet flinched. So today I am the messenger and receive my message as solving daggers or piercing bullets, you choose. Because school didn't teach me how to think, it taught me what to think. No offense, but it was made a brain-sucking machine for me, to me, for you. So they're going when you go back to the land, the promised land, the smiling coast of Africa they call it. Do not explain to them this sweet, bitter experience, but remind them of how your future is locked in that pebble. How that sound fortifies the fate of this country. How each dove should tie wrappers on each other's waist and dance to answered questions. How the clapping of our palms should second the bouncing of our feet. How happy our faces should look like as if we newly fall in love. Well, today I'm not talking about love, not today. How do I even write about this poem? Because my stomach contains seeds I no more can stomach. Anyone can write, just write about anything. But a few can write what makes you feel something. So let me write. No, in fact, let us talk. Let's talk. And please get these deep in you, inside you, for you. I'm not going to guide your choices to who to vote for. But your choices will guide me. Because bullets are no more in guns, but are seeds in my stomach. And let me fire them through my mouth and to tell you they burn. They really do. I know you want to save me and save the seedlings that branch from me. Because this is not a line, this is not a poem, this is not a stanza. Because I am too angelic to be a devil, too devilish to be an angel, to be a poet. But like that girl, I am a messenger, and here is my declaration. So are all birds flying? Are windows open? Are doors too? Are donkeys nagging in their horny voices? Because that is the situation we want in this country. Because I don't want to smell blood on my flesh too. Go vote, come back, take lunch. Maybe you want to have damada, benachin. Oh my God, I hate that. I hate benachin, even though you can have it. And watch TV. Sit, watch the galloping of all kinds, and laugh in a friendly environment. That's what we want in this country. Because together when we come, we define the glory of God. So together, let us come and sing songs. I know you must be asking what is wrong with this guy with songs today. But, because in songs, I believe it is where our hearts meet and connect and communicate, like how our feet meet the ground. So let's come and then dance and then, do everything that we want to do and just see candidates as the xylophone, the drum, the bottle of Coke, Malta tonic, my favorite. The guitar, so that we will dance just like my beautiful, robe with multifaceted colors. So take your chill pills and chill. Thank you.
Auntie uncle, Chepegal, Sondoke, Nakam. Tey duñ ñibi ndax den dox ba génn télé nu fa demee nii light bi dafa demaat wala. The Gambia's Nakam has only one response: mangi cool. But how are we? Really? Are we all okay? Did we achieve our profound, meaningful, unchallengeable dreams? The so-called tempting head of violence, did we slay? If our anticipations, expectations, wishes are always dashed, do we imagine our future to be accompanied with the ugly shades of dismay? But hey, hello, hi, hello, Kai, let's have a deeper conversation. For this isn't about just me and you. This is about us in us for us. This is about what we foresee. It's about there in here. Where do we want us to be? For who you want to vote for, it's not my business. But what you should vote for is my ultimate interest. Look, listen, I am tired. And I know you are tired of believing that the next leader is going to be a symbol of eternal paradise. That he or she will wake us up from the dead dreams and ignite union into our hearts. That the frequent deaths, broken houses, fallen beds, the eyes that got red, hands that bled, the corpses in the seas, the gunshots, the rapes that ridicule and radicalize beings to give up on their souls forever will be diminished. For now we understand the torment of buried convictions. So when you get to the ballot, Be smart. Be wise. Open your eyes. Comport yourselves. Exercise your rights. But don't be violent. Do not cast your vote for the obvious. Do not vote for who befalls our country or the narrow-minded kingdom. Do not vote for the system that will dislike what you like and you like what it dislikes. But vote to salvage us from the disguised lies, from those blinded by the dusts of pride, who do not know how to groom and improve people, but replace ideas with, I hate you. Frequent manipulation of minds in rejoice is what they do, because to them we are just meager and they are smarter. So brother, just vote for love, compassion, belief, positive, imagination, ideas, respect, truth, trust, morality, for these manifest who we truly are. They are the values that can remedy every problem we face in every case, for they only connect us and make us one. So that tomorrow, together, we can build an inclusive Gambia, where the hard of hearing, the visually impaired, the albino, the Mansa Muso, the dull, the hungry, the wealthy, the capable, will all be catered for and cherished. Where poor connection stops crawling like a chameleon. Where the breeders, emphasizers of difference as fools will perish. Where persons with power not mislead but rule and pay heed. With brains are brains by the cups of wisdom they feed. Take the whole, sow the seeds of betterment and not hinder development. Elek bugguñu njiit wala nguur buy siisu ndax dañu sonn si maslaha ak baale kon nguur gi ku si duggati na nga moytu waxtaan ak sa seetu ndax boo amutee fooy wéeru mën ngaa gaaw a cóole driver yi paas bi ñu bàyyi di ko yokku nawek light bi bàyyi leen di ko indeek yóbbu sagam askan bi ngeen fi nekkal heavy traffic bi jeex suñu xol yi mën a féex bu ko defee boo ñëwee seet si Gambia ñu ne la dalal ak jàmm.
By the beginning of time, when everyone thought that I was too weak to be myself, when my people voted for him, for freedom, to free me, right to nationality, for identity, equality, economic independence, for stable growth, too many reasons there was right to vote him at the time. But when time passed on, he became too old to match with my life. So another right thought by my people, they voted for who they thought was Mr. Right. For him, free education, to educate me. He said, grow what you eat and eat what you grow, to feed me. Infrastructural development, my basic needs were given, maybe less, but at the expense of bleeding me in my sleep. So they voted for him again, and again, and again. There comes another Mr. Right, for change, system change, good governance, freedom of expression, rule of law, democracy. Never again, we said. But it is either too early or too right, too late or somehow right. So is the ballot, the vote, the future? Then what is the future? Is the future too bright or too dark? Will it dry my tears? Will it be healthy? Will it give birth to a healthy nation? Will my people vote right to be right enough to feed me and them? The ballot only reveals what we cast. But the ballot trembles and lives in fear when our votes are no longer our voices. So with too many questions, we point at the center. But we are the center. So who answers the questions? Is the ballot, the vote, our future? Peace.
We count our dreams at every election, but at this rate, it all crumbles. Everyone has become a slave to his pause and inner satisfaction. Our politicians are like different breeds of magicians holding on to fate. They are like demons fixed on a snare about to be experimented. These magicians keep smacking the life out of us. They use us for incantations, worshipping and praising things that one day will be. They have malnourished minds. They only think of themselves. The process is so slow, you wonder if things would ever come true. If I fall in the pits of Banjul, don't say that I should watch out. They have always been there. One day, I will jump off a story building with that president's name. Remember, the Bible says that the humble will rise and the proud will fall. Falling they fail to stop the ground beneath us from shaking. I can promise you that 2 and 2 will give you 4, but 3 and 3 will never give you 5. Let's stop playing the guessing game. How I wish I was there to share this life with people. Until now, until this, the ballot the vote, the future. These will hand us the king to the kingdom. The Gambia story is deeper than the parable of the 10 virgins. Our votes are connected bridges, connecting what you and I cannot see. The bullet will help with my community is thinking in thinking. The past can decay our future. We must be honored in God's name out. The land where the voice of the people is the voice of God. Only the stars know what it takes to brighten the night, and only the ballot knows what it takes to shape a nation. The government blames the people blame the government, the old blame the young, and the young blame the old, the students blame the school system, and the school blame the home system. Children blame themselves not to stop, and no one has ever been blamed. Let's stop complaining and blame things. Right now, we don't need a haze of pure sunshine. On this white horse we shall fly. Let's come together like colors, red, white, blue, white, and green, and awaken the spirit of our nation.
My favorite few lines, I always have my quotables. School didn't teach us how to think, it taught me what to think. I think it's very deep and it's very real, and it's the reality of the system, educational system around the world. I love that, Ami Sohna. Keep it up. I can't wait to see your next one. Adama Mboj. Adama Mboj. I want Adama to surprise me, you know. That's the only downside on his performance. You know, he brings it, he drops it. There are a few things that are a little bit predictable about how he'll do things, but you can't fault him. You really can't fault Adama. He's an amazing poet, an amazing performer, and he basically killed it for me. My surprise of the night is Bintu Sane. Her piece was brief, but it was nice. An example of how you don't need to prolong the production for the production to be sweet. I loved every second of it. I followed everything she said, and for me it was our first real historical narrative piece on this year's Poetry Slam. In her way, she took us on a journey from Jawara to Jammeh to Barrow without mentioning any names, and it was amazing the way she did it. And I agree with her, the ballot only reveals what we cast. Thank you very much for that, Bintu. For Modu Lamin Keita, I'll also say it wasn't about the fact that we couldn't get the sound from the speakers. It wasn't about the fact that he was distant. I'm sure myself and my fellow judges looked at the content of the piece. And for me personally, I wasn't happy at all. It was very lectureful, if that's a word. It sounded like I was in a university hall and someone was giving me a teaching and hitting me whilst doing it. It was a little bit torturous for me, and it was surprisingly my worst performance of the night. I wasn't happy at all.
So I'm going to go on a limb here with all of this because, can you guys hear me? I didn't follow the entirety of the Poetry Slam this year. I mean, I've been on all of the previous ones. I used to have dread, so if you don't recognize me, it's the same person, by the way. But yeah, so I wouldn't know the metamorphosis that happened this year with the performers. So I'm going to read from my notes. Usman Barrow is very good, very eloquent, but he can do with a little bit more of performing like himself, you know? Just a sense of originality, not whispering, you know, like, I wish I could do this. But yeah, something very organic. Amit Sohna, a bit speechy and preachy. It was little bit of too much give me the speech vibe, but it was very good, and I like the humor. There was humor here and there, and there was, you know, also intersperses of the ordinary, like just every day. I like that in a poem when you put ordinary stuff in the poem here and there. Adam Mboj, a lot of words. Is it Mboj? No, I said a mic. Oh. Adam Mboj used a lot of words. I mean, I know it's an irony because the whole thing is words, right? But sometimes you can pack so much words together in one, in like in a very in a split second, and that can be a bit disorienting for me. But I like the deepening. He talks about deepening, deepening the conversation. What really humored me was he said we should vote on values like positivity, imagination, compassion. I was wondering myself, show me a ballot like that, I'll totally vote, because I don't see that anywhere in any of these elections. I mean, it was very good, and it's good to see him get better and deeper and doper, because I've seen him in editions before, in subsequent performances, and he keeps getting better for me. Bintu Sane, yeah, Bintu Sane. I've always loved her voice. I used to say it comes with this sort of conviction and certainty, Are you guys done? Okay. I loved the piece. Also, there was some sort of Socratic dialogue. A Socratic dialogue, like asking questions and, this give and take. And I liked that. I really loved this piece by Bintu, really. I wrote love it in capital letters. Modlamin Keita, the first thing I wanted to ask him if he was here was, why would you fall in a pit when you know it was always there? He said in Banjul, he fall in a pit and there was like, be careful, but it was always there. Like, why would you fall in something that you knew was there? And if you know the way I judge, you know that I don't like the metaphors like my stomach is my kingdom, my chest is my empire, my head is like the ocean. I don't like metaphors I don't like it. And there was a lot of them, and it was so cryptic. He said something like, a sunshine of pure hatred. I don't know what that means. I don't see how sunshine and hatred are connected. But again, it was a very bad piece. I didn't like it. Thank you.
I think with me, generally, with the first round, I expected more. And for some reason, this always happens when we come to the finals. We have the poets, they keep giving us their best and bringing their A games round after round, and then when we come to the finals, it's like something just happens. It has happened with previous performances, and I'm beginning to see it here, which I am not happy about because I know their strengths individually. Usman Barrow, I think, had a nice play on words. He has always had that strength. And he also has this very calm delivery, which is nice and soothing. Amis Sohna, I liked that her poem was playful. I liked that it was conversational. So it was just literally having a chat with all of us, on the theme and on important matters. Adam Mboj equally also had a nice play of words, and he always throws in all of which he is really good at. It's one of his strengths. And I also like that his piece was team-focused. I will skip to Molamin Keita. I think that was not Molamin's best piece, and I did not also think that it was his best performance. And if you have been in the audience in previous rounds and editions, you will agree with me. Molamin is extremely good, and for today, he did fall short. My performance for that round is Bintu Sane. And I think Bintu had the best interpretation of the theme, and she also had the best delivery. I liked how Latir mentioned how she took us through all the regimes and her interpretation of what they represented and still represent. And I think she did it in a very nice way without actually mentioning them. And it was really, really nice to have her interpretation of what the regimes were and is. So generally, it was good, but it could have been better.
Starting off with Usman Barrow. Usman Barrow, he came out a little bit out of his comfort zone. Usman Barrow is normally that calm type of person, but he went a little bit more aggressive this time. His wordplay was nice. In the starting, it was a little bit, sounding like a speech to me. But as the piece went on, I saw a little bit more of wordplays and metaphors and things like that. But unfortunately for him, he choked at some point. Maybe he thought that we don't notice, but I actually noticed that he choked, and it was very obvious, and that will cost him, obviously. And moving on, Amisona was a a little bit too playful with this piece, in my own opinion, because this piece is so rich in content, like the ballot, the vote, the future, with all what's happening in Gambian politics. Gambian politics is like a movie with everything happening. You know, that's the movie, that's the theme right there. So with everything happening in Gambian politics, I didn't expect Amisona to come and, you know, beat us around the bush, you know, making it so a little bit too playful, in my opinion. She could have been a little bit more, the content could have been richer, with everything that Jawara did, with everything that Jame did, with everything that Adama Barrow did, with everything that's happening. Just this recent weeks, I really expected a little bit more. Adam Mboch is Adam Mboch. No one can take that away from him. Yeah. His piece was flawless. His piece was calm, collective. His words were clear. He gave us some Wolof. It's very important in this type of performance that you put a little bit of a local language, because you actually give us the local language type of perspective of what you're talking about. It hits different when you're speaking English and when you're speaking Wolof, and you know the piece, the information actually hits different. And Adam Mboch didn't give us too much Wolof, but didn't give us too much English. It was in between. It was smooth. It was nice. There was humor. It was cool. But the performance of the night was in Adam Mboch, though. Adam Mboch was in the performance of the night for me. Bintu Sane. Bintu Sane is the only one with a 10 over 10 on my sheet today. Bintu Sane is normally that shy type that comes here, you know, when she's performing, she can't even look at you in the eye. But today she came out and gave us a beautiful, wonderful piece. Rich. And then we have Maud Lamin Keita with it, which is, you know, why Maud Lamin Keita's piece is so disappointing is like, he was the shadow of Adam Mboch throughout this whole competition. If Adam Mboch comes out with the best piece, he comes next. Maud Lamin Keita has always been giving us the best performances, but something just went wrong this time. I don't know where he is, what he ate, or who he's seeing, or where he's living, or what's the climate there, but it just messed him up this time around. I don't know what the hell went wrong, but it just messed him up. He didn't give us the best of his performances, because his performances is just not what he speaks about. He gives us that movement that, you know, it's like a theater he's in when he's performing. So he didn't give us that. And that counts a lot in your performance. So hands down, Bintu Sane, 10 over 10. The rest can kick rocks, in my opinion.
For the first time, you always know I've always been on Amisohna's case. I'm going to defend her 100% today. Simply because, honestly, I believe you can be very playful about serious stuff and still knock the message home. Comedy is the most hard-hitting message. How do you call it? A route. We use comedy to talk about genocide and war and rape and all those things, and it sends the message home even better than being serious. So for me, my impression of Amisona is the fact that she could be chill. When she said, take a chill pill and chill, for me, she was chill, and it was nice, and I loved it. And it's very interesting how the roles have changed, because Bai used to be Amisona's #1 fan, and it seems like I'm the #1 fan now. So yeah, so that's good. But anyways, I just wanted to say, just to show you guys, we don't always agree as judges. We always have our issues. But I loved the fact that for me, playful was nice, and also for Usman Barrow, I think the reason why I didn't score him well was because he choked, and for me, choking is major. But I don't blame him. That's why I told the sound guy to stop, because he stood here for 4 or 5 minutes. It's not easy when you're just standing there waiting to perform. So you could tell that he was very uneasy when he started, but we still have to judge him anyways. So unfortunate for him. Yeah. I had to say.
Walking silently in the jungle of success surrounded by hungry demons, I don't even have an iota of fear. envisioning in my head that day when you would wear a smile for the first time, drinking from the wells of euphoria, expressing how proud and elated you are about me for eroding your tears, makes me believe that at some point I never want to see you grow old. Ndax si yow la jugee ak leer yaa ma fi andi. Si sa biir laa doon wequ juutu fudd foowee nga muñ mooñ xeex addunaay mettit ba ma agsi. Yàlla ji taw taw bu gaaw andi fi naataange. Xol diis jaww ji niis rongo ñi mbégte toxati. Kéemtaan wane boppam fu ne lu ne jaaree si ku nekk ñépp nekk benn nekk lépp nekk lenn nekk fépp nekk fenn nekk kenn ñaar ñetti wala fukk feeñal guddi bëccëg bët set nëbb boppam leeram xam-xamam waaye it di ko mayee lu mu ko neexee maama nga sonn ba ma judd ma tudd tur bu sell yow ak paa bi am gandab ti yaabu samay mbokk rafetlu sama teew rey xar béy nag peese kilo meew ngir delloo njukkal yaa latiif doo leen jóg ci di ma sàmm def ci man jikko yu set mut sell àdduna di dox may dox ngeen tette ma may gën a xam xàmmee ràññee di dem ak xel xol bu mbaax fees dell may gën a màgg si jëmm si xel jubal jokk si leeru nabi ca ba muy teel. Mother, I have grown. You are a school and I have learned my lessons I have known. I have worked on myself first, physically, mentally, sanctified my soul spiritually before working for myself. For the strength in you reflects on me entirely, in crushing violently the ugly shadows of darkness, in redefining the doctrine of my own life, in grasping the light that illuminates the path to my salvation, in opening my head wide to find solutions to the different unanswered questions of existence, in being oblivious of my surroundings, to be the architect of my properly planned tomorrow, not tormenting for you, me, my wife, my children, not encapsulated by the wickedness of melancholy, but to get sober not from the alcohol of never-ending love nurtured blissfully. Mother, you know, when you speak in riddles. You speak like a poet. Your thoughts are deep but open to interpretations. Intellectualism is highly depicted in your words. Minds you feed with imaginative lords, goals easily attainable in your presence. For you are a beacon of light that loiters and lives in my veins systematically. For you, I can sell my soul, suffocate my every breath in exchange for your pleasant ending. You are a temple of passion, a valley of betterment, the offspring of benevolence, the succulent fruits of ease, representation of Zahir and Batin, the driving force of struggle and conviction. That is why when the angel of death arrives, he has to pass through me before getting to you. For I have to be assured that I will meet you in Barzakh, that I will meet you in Firdausi, where our souls reunite in truth, certainty, in light, purity, in remission, wholeheartedly, in justice, precisely. For without a doubt, we are in each other eternally.
My body feels the cold wind of snow, yet I am too hot but tame. I don't find fun to be fun. I am one but like a wounded nation. I feel like talking to the devil because he is related to darkness, and darkness is a witness to how I feel. I write with my eyes closed, yet I see clear than light could ever help, because I got married to closed boxes. Too evil to be in the books of evil, but like a prostitute joining the books of good records. So I got to be a thief, stealing lines in my mind. That's why I got too late in knowing myself. So lust beat me to it. I am not fake, but I prove myself to be free. Yet even with that, I am caged under a building, tied with thick ropes. I am not afraid to be in prison, but I am too scared to be free, because then society labels me insane. My words are too heavy for my heart to release, and these words, what should I say? These words are too heavy for my head to release, and my heart too emotional to allow them flow. The world says that I am different, petty, and weak, but I know how it feels to be in broken glasses. Finding me in dead souls is one reason why I drown in the ocean of no return. So it's okay if I wish to kill myself, because I can no longer be loyal to this beef that has no me. So I quit.
She is a motherless child. She is also a fatherless child, condemned to soak in other people's bad mouthing. So she thinks herself a lost cause, daydreaming. At this point, her emotions are running wild. She wants to do this and do that, but most of all, she wants to run a mile. 1,000 miles till she disappears into the infinite horizon to unburden herself of this heavy load of shame, drawing attention seekers. She is all alone and a broken soul tied with the strings of loneliness in this cruel world, left to die with her story untold. She lost respect. She grew up begging. At 35, she had to invest in her wheelchair, it's aging. And when passers-by pass her begging, some keep stalling. Others can't stop laughing. A few can't help crying. Conditions change. So that might be my corner office. I'll keep learning. Because there is a broken soul continuously dying. Each day comes with bitter experiences so hard, healing wounds so deep that others can't stop bleeding. Their limbs taken, the remaining ones broken. Even if they wish they can fake their walk crawling. So actually this is troubling. She was raised by an uncle she always looked up to and respected. Now that her soul is broken, she wants to commit the unexpected. Since mom is powerless, when dad died, her feelings rejected like an outcast. She felt neglected because bonding with mom was so complicated. But dad, he understood. Like a detective, he always detected when she was in pain. Like now, she never lamented because a formidable seal always protected from her fears and temptations when tempted. But today she is a broken soul. Life just persecuted. She's sentenced to shame. She's highly disappointed. That's why if you have to call today, yesterday, there'll probably be no answer. If the world were an old woman's dance, everyone will shout, my granny is the best dancer, because people have hated each other for nothing like level 4 cancer. Created weapons and technology to kill each other and keep others prisoner, brutalize peace and freedom till there lives no harmony in the heart and mind of humanity. We find no sympathy, no truth, no honor, no liberty, only treachery because we are each other's kindred killers, kindness kidnappers, and goodness betrayers because humanity is weak and continues to be weak. Thank you.
As it houses needles going right through my program. Doctors describe this as a gene mutation, a sex-linked disorder. Every child comes into this world with a gift, but I came with a curse. This is the DNA I can hide. I squeeze myself in pain, beginning for oxygen, not feeling when I can't receive enough oxygen to my brain. I called God, but he didn't pick up his phone. Maybe his line was busy. If there is anything I should talk about, it is my cells dying 50 times faster than yours. Prone to infections, becoming a museum for medications, and a body of complications. Why do they even rhyme? I pounce on the day because the night is never promised. I have lived to have smiles that never existed. I have learned to look at my siblings in the eye and splash humor before my funeral comes to me. I battle with my thoughts like a wrestler at the Royal Rumble. My life and fate are simple. I am a slave to self. I roar like World War II. Will I be cured by an angel, punished by God, or laugh at by the devil? I am disfigured in beauty. My Gentile's eyes are marks to heaven. I am the combination of emergencies. I have a relationship with depression. I can't breathe. Sometimes I just can't breathe. I don't have a life expectancy. Death is always expected. I have become addicted to pills. These cells are the filthiest ever. These cells wash away dreams. I want to do this before God calls me back. To sickle cell warriors, stay strong. Be still like water. Be green like the rainforest. This isn't the end. Stay strong.
Ecstasy.
Unflinches, undefined.
On the 18th October, I sat on a yacht, forbidding tears interwoven with distress wheels, paddling the canoe to a land of wilted green grass. Every scar is now painted with this charcoal dark skin, so how will you understand if I say that I've lived in my future? Or even if I say that I was choked before nurtured death, but was brought back then turned into a strong weak bones interlocked within a fragrant stinking pulse of an abandoned temple of God. My body is now the abandoned temple of God. Your stories are just pieces of my stories, but don't pity me. The fragmented span you picture, my backbone, is even more fragmented than numbers can define, so just hear my lines as songs, but you have no idea how each line crawled to put up, hey! How each day had the will to whip me up and still do. Legs turned tentacles, eyes throat going back home. Pictures coming back of how I sat on that short bench. That plazas hastily stuck in my mouth because Granny said that I was almost dying. As light as the weight of what your eyelids could carry, I was that light. This baby is always crying. That was everyone's goodnight lullabies. Then this mouth was named vulgar, loud, man's, and sweet too. At least that's what I added myself. To shut me up right there, hammered. Is that the right word? Never mind. I mean knocked under pressure a ball was from, so I am choked by that ball. Who's gonna save me? You? No. My frown face, a little bit of class, lie about not loving anybody, roll my petal eyes, hisses, wear a black stick, a lipstick, a black one, so that when I look at myself in the mirror, my lips are not gonna ask me, hey, what is that red thing doing there? Trust me, I lie better than you do. I didn't spend days and nights asking God, but in every pace I asked God that turn these bullies into my voice, these tears to cement into rock, and translate that to an ugly face and give it to me. You know, that is why sometimes I think you misunderstand an ugly face to a frown face. I do not frown, I am ugly. Stop judging me. I simply can be what all of you want me to be. Do you understand? Because down here resides an angel. I am a queen. Maybe a slum queen for tonight. Just that some of you devils and local champions want me to eat the apple, just like you lied to Eve. Well, that can be, because I've read all books. Well, except my book, because you keep writing every single day. You keep judging of how I was going to look more perfect. And at the end, you lost you, because all of you was lost in me. You know, the only reason I need a king is for him to serve me, or to call me, you know, serve me coffee first, because I serve myself alcohol slow. But is he gonna call me your Royal Highness? Because I'm a queen. Who says no? But never mind. This kind of life I'm living is amazing. And the fact that no king has love, in fact, that's what even makes me love myself more. I am a queen. Take that home.
The finalists just made it tough for someone like me. I'm shaken because I have no idea who my favorite poet is tonight after that round. I'll start with Adama. I loved it. I loved his performance. I loved the poetry. I love the Talif even better than the English bits. Adama is a poet. He's an amazing poet, and if it's going to break my heart if he's not the highest points for me tonight, because that is possible. That is very possible. I haven't added my points yet, so it's very possible. Bintu Sane. Bintu, I like, I'll lean forward a bit. So Bintu, I like Bintu because for the longest time, I used to write some very dark pieces. And that for me was one of the darkest pieces I have ever had. Dark pieces are tough to write. Because you have to submerge yourself in a really, really, really deep place. So Bintu, again, round 1, round 2, A game, I loved it. Usman Barrow. I think Usman reminded me of why he's in the finals. He reminded me of why he's in the finals. I think that was typical Usman Barrow from the semis and from the quarters. It was nice, it was sweet, he took his time, he enjoyed himself. That was nice. Again, it seems Teidal affair daf ko di disturb. You know, the moment he got on the stage, started reciting Mike be dodi down. So, but yeah, I like the fact that he kept his focus, he carried on and he powered through. So good, kudos to you, Usman. Modu Lamin Keita. I don't have a life expectancy. Death is always expected. You know, that is nice. That is some nice play on words. He did some very beautiful stuff with his piece. I hated the fact that he kept interrupting the piece with some other graphics of some guy who's going through pain and all of that stuff. And I think when we do videos next time, we have to have rules for the videos, because they have an advantage that the stage performers don't have. So it should just be plain, you, Mike, perform. Nothing on the side, no added graphics and all of that. But I think Modu Lamin Keita also proved why we brought him to the finals. That was a very, very, very good performance. Finally, Ami Sohna. So I know why sometimes there's a disagreement between me and Bai on a few poets. You know, everybody has a different style that you like. I remember Immortal and I would go back and forth on some of the poets because of the styles that we enjoy. I enjoy Ami Sohna's style for one obvious reason. I'm a theater producer and director. So for me, theatrical poetry is big. It's not everyone that can do it. Ami Sohna played 3 roles in her piece. She kept changing from A to B to C, and she does it so effortlessly. All of a sudden she's chill, another time she's serious, another time she's talking to herself. I think it's beautiful to be able to do something like that. And I grew up, I was the only male child in my house. If you're the only male child in your house, you grow up having conversations with yourself. So I grew up having conversations with myself, and that reminded me of myself. So I loved it. Very nice stuff, Ami Sohna.
I like part 2. Part 2 was very, I scribbled some things here. It was very profound reflections. It was sobering, complicated, naked, and glorious. I don't know what I was doing there, but I mean, it meant something to me. But I noticed that too, because there was no theme to it. It was, everybody was bringing out stuff that is very connected to themselves. Adam and Boj, I mean, it began with some, again, I don't like metaphors like that. You guys understand what I was trying to say, like eroding my tears and stuff. I don't like that. But as the piece progressed, I heard words that were that for the past year I've used a lot, you know, words like, he said, walked on myself in connection to something. And I think that is something that is very profound in our times, to walk on ourselves, you know, the inward movement. And that was connected to when he said, I sanctified my soul. And he used words like illuminated, which I liked. And he said, Zahir and Batin. I'm Taliban Bai. If you know anything, they say that stuff a lot. So I liked it. It was very moving. And I feel like it was a tribute to his mother. I don't know whether I have that feeling where everybody has that, but I had things about the womb and 9 months and all that. So it was very good. I liked it. Bintu Sane. I like Bintu, man, honestly. I've always... You ready? Okay. But I like, you know, I've always said to Bintu that there's something to her. If she keeps bringing it, she will eventually bring it. And she brought it this time. And there was a line, she talked about, I'm not scared to go to jail, but I'm too scared to be free. And I don't know why I related to that, but I related to that at a very profound level. I mean, looking back on my life, I don't think I've ever been scared of punishment, but I've always been scared to be too liberated because of the things I'm capable of doing, like every one of us. I loved it. I mean, it was like an attempt at exploring the prodigal child who never returned. So in the biblical parable, the prodigal child does return, But hers is like, I'm evil and I'm not returning. And I'm going to be like that. You know, and I'm too evil for evil itself. So I loved it very much. I like it. Usman Barrow. So every year when I am a judge, there's always that one person that everybody loves, and I just don't know why. So I think that Usman for me. And again, I'm saying I'm a guest judge this year. I'm not there throughout the journey. So when I judge people, they shouldn't be very hard on themselves and they shouldn't hate me for it, because I don't know how they've come along the way. But I like Usman's piece. It was very sober. It was very, despite the obstacles. And before I forget, I like your crowd. I don't know who you support. Everybody, you're cheering for everybody. I love that. But I lost the narrative at some point. I don't know what he was going on about. But I like the fact that it's very sober and it's a nice piece. Modlamin Keda really brought it, huh? It was a very deep and moving tribute to people who are expecting death. So recently, I was told about a friend of mine called and said, she's dying. She has one of these things that, you are going to die. The prediction from the doctors that you're going to die maybe in a year or 6 months. And we had a long conversation about it. And the fact that, she is coming to terms with the fact that she's going to die, And it reminded me of that. It was very sobering and it was very moving. And we all know somebody who knows somebody who died from sickle cell or something like that. And it's a very harrowing disease. So it was very nice, And also, memento mori in Latin, remember that you will die. It's very sobering, important to remember that. And for Ami Sohna, it was very nice. I liked it. It was beautiful. I read from my notes. This is beautiful, a radical vulnerability, a reclaiming of self, and a bit of narcissism at the end. I mean, we all are narcissistic in this generation. I feel like I'm going on and on. I'm doing all my preaching stuff. But I liked Amisona's piece very much. She has this thing where she can just play with it. I like it, honestly. Like when you can entertain very profound ideas and you can play with them and you can make people ease into them. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of skill to do that. So I agree entirely with Latir. I don't know about the theoretical part, but all I know is that theater apart, she did something that a lot of us cannot do. Like when I talk about serious stuff, I'm talking about serious stuff. When I'm talking about lighthearted stuff, you know it. But she was able to dance between edges, and you see, I'm doing poetry right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Immortal. And I think this round has got us all excited. This is what we expected from the finals. I mean, coming here, I dreaded being a judge today because I knew that I anticipated that the poets would all bring their A games and they'll deliver their absolute best and will make it very hard for us as judges to pick a winner. Now, the first round didn't so much do that, but this second round definitely did that. And now I'm looking at this, I'm thinking we might actually have our first female champion for the first time. And I say that with absolute conviction, without knowing what the other judges have in store. But I guess in a few moments we will actually tabulate. So Adam Ambosh is very hard to fault any of his performances. And the last round was not an exception. And I kind of do like it when he gets into the Wolof bit, and for some reason I actually wish the entire poem was in Wolof because his Wolof and Talif was really that good. Bintu Sane, I think Bintu Sane has really, well, I wouldn't say surprised us because she was good from the very start. But tonight, she really brought a whole different side to Bintu, and we are loving it. I think performance-wise, I loved it. I think the writing was great. And also, I like that she has some sort of a sweet relationship with darkness. And yeah, do your thing, girl. And Usman Barrow, I think, also has maintained his calm, cool, vibe. He has this cool delivery about him. And every time he performs, he also always has this one thing that I like, which is a very, very nice play on words, which I appreciate from him. I like that Lamin Keita dived into sickle cell, and it kind of reminded me when we had Aliu on the show, and he did something about laugh not at the mentally ill. That same effect I had from Aliu's performance, and his piece is the same I have for Molame's piece on sickle cell, minus the theatrics, which I think was very, very unnecessary. Amis Sohna, again, she was really, really good. And I'm beginning to realize that playful, chill, conversational type of delivery is her style. And yeah, it's okay, it's cool. And the fact that all judges have commented on that previously, that she can talk about serious stuff in a conversation, and she's able to go back and forth between seriousness, asking you questions, laughing, chilling, and still delivering on her message and being on point and on key. So I think that was really, really amazing. And I would repeat again, I think we might have our first female champ of the slams. Thank you.
Madeline Ilaleji, I will be performing two pieces for you tonight. The first one is titled A Black Hole Maiden. Sometimes I think all the boys think that they're lovely creatures, the essence of all things, the goal of every woman. I think it's because our mothers made them feel that way, and our fathers raised them to be superior. But I don't. So I'm teaching my sister to know that she's a constellation, also major with all its competitors. She can bust out stars and race comets. She can behave like dark matter, a black hole, and still be mysteriously beautiful. She can have mood swings and still discover exoplanets. After all, our solar system has period pains, yet its galaxies are uniquely displaced in the manner they have chosen to exist. And they owe no one an explanation for being just themselves. My sister, however, is royalty. She's born of ancient lines, of sun goddesses and moon kings, of black ancestors and wild spirits, and she's made of stardust, and a part of God that exists in all life forms. For she's the last of his creatures, and she has all their bad marks in abundance. So let her be herself, a black hole maiden. Let her unravel in the way she chooses to, for she is wonderful, and she is all the things that life said she isn't. Thank you. Okay, so the second piece is titled Tough Knuckle Bones. So where all the girls in the house, raise your hands for me. So this piece is in celebration of all girls, whatever type of girl you were. So this piece acknowledges you, and it goes like this. I'm with the girls who have their shirts raised, tucked in on pants that don't fit. The ones with makeup and the braids, and the girls with the afro, curly hair, straight cuts. I'm with the no makeup girls. I'm with the girls hanging with the other girls, talking tough love and all the boys who walked away. I'm with the girls hanging with the boys, the girls who don't fit in the circle of other girls, and the girls with comic friends pressed into corners of their wall. I'm with the everyday kind of girls, shirt and jeans kind of girls, dresses and skirts kind of girls, hair tie and veil kind of girls, boxers and panties kind of girls. Just the everyday girls, the no makeup girls with half a sunlight smile, the saucy little queens whose heads aren't bowed. I'm with the girls living and loving, the girls healing and breathing, the girls working hard to pay bills with all of the creator's gifts, Just the everyday kind of girls, working hard and staring into the mirror each morning to get going for the day. Thank you.
Kii bilaay kii dafa baax. mënul wéy bi waay. waay Stava. waay lenn la xam naa gars yi ma mere. waaw du bugguma ñu wàcca. te mosalul leen comme Kouthia bi nu mel ak lu fa nekk. non mooy ñaan leen ko rek. ñaan leen ko. nekku fa. waaw non boobu ak Yafa mun ngeen a freestyle.
ñu dem. Kuube Assane. Aja. Na nekk taatu bu leen ko def snaps. Waaw. Bu leen tayal waaw. Nata kujale kama. Nata kujale.
Nalaga awu.
Jawo raha bisa pinyarna. Raha bisa le kama. Pembati mane raha binyona. Nata kujale kama. Nata kujale kama. Nata kujale kama. Bisabo raha bisa pinyarna. Raha bisa binyona. November 12 lengkoy.
Aja jangan monan legede wallahi billahi. Aja jangan monan legede wallahi billahi. Jangan monan legede wala bolen de. Ono yigam mogan salaho. O paten sunam melako hello bayigena katakane nan teleho.
Moda khajallo deglu regite. Gis.
Moda khajallo fry. Buje. Gis. Ma fetu di ice. Nadir kar.
I first of all want to start by thanking the judges. I call them my judges for, being consistent and just being with us throughout the journey. These judges, these three at some point, I have only 3 of them now, but I had to go to the office, but these 3 have been consistent from the beginning of the slam. When it was nothing, basically. When no one understood what we were doing, they stood by us. Whether we had something to give or not, they're still with us. I want you all to give them, please, a round of applause. Ndeye Kumba, Immortal X, Latir Car, these people, I know Ndeye Kumba will always ask me, Muloshi, when, and when the flyers are out, she's always sharing, just making sure that she's also doing what she can. Latir here has been very helpful, giving us his platform and just his advice and being present. For me, that is massive. And even though Immortal, I know, wasn't here throughout the season this year, but I know he's been with us in spirit. So when I called him and said, Immortal, you know what, it's a must that you come to the finale. He said, you know what, today he come and said, I'm cold, Muloshi. Why didn't I relax today? I knew he would come. And he had to somehow just manage to be here. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate all of this. And by Ibrahim Cham, I know he's so passionate about this. When he was called to go to the office, he almost dropped a tear. I said, you know what, just go ahead. It's all okay. These 3 will handle it. And I just want you to give them a huge round of applause once again, please. Thank you all so much. I appreciate this. And of course, this year we have Action Aid with us. They've sponsored the finale. I can't thank them enough for it. Thank you so much, you and your team, Fanta, for believing in us and saying, you know what, it is about the elections, and the election will be here soon. We're so passionate about that because we have the project on the EU about this election, and for us, it's important that we also contribute to what the young people are doing towards that, and we'll do what we can to support that. So I can't thank them enough. Thank you so much for believing in us. We appreciate all of you. And to all the sponsors, to all our partners as well, to AfriCell for giving the poets $10,000 worth of credit. They also given us some cash, also printed some banners for us as well. You can see those banners down there. They've done all of that for us and given us 10 advert slots on radio. For me, that's massive. But of course, we can't forget some of our partners, Rahim Studios, all the flyers you've been seeing on the WhatsApp, everywhere. He's been with us since day one and still with us. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you so much. Ipasi, I don't know if he's here. I know he should be somewhere there. Yes, thank you so much. I'm happy to see all the work he's doing for AfriCell as well. And to CM Production, you can see him flashing the light on me. And for doing exceptional promo for the poets as well. You saw the videos, they were so beautiful. And he's with us here as well to give us some great production. Thank you all so much. It would have been very impossible to pull this through without Action Aid for putting in so much money, giving us this beautiful banner you're seeing here on this stage. And not forgetting Brand Plus, Sister Njai and her crew for bringing the screens. You can see we can't pay you guys. And when you said, you know what, we'll do what we can and come for you. Thank you so much, Sister. I appreciate this a lot. A round of applause for all of them. I think it is only through partnership that we can do this. It is only through partnership that we can pull up events like this. Because for us, we want that when the poets come here, when we have a winner, we can give him or her a befitting prize. Not only that, but to just pave the way for them to nurture their talent at an international scale. That is why the winner of the Poetry Slam is now going to have a direct passage to the African Cup of Slam Championship, where you have only slam champions from African countries participating in. And we had our last winner of, not the last, but the season before last, Rahi Balora represented us in this last one at the African Cup. She emerged first in their pool at the first round. Unfortunately, she could not make it through the quarterfinals, but I am so proud of her because that championship is one of the tightest battles I have ever seen. Imagine just having only slam champions, only winners from their African countries participating in that championship. I am so, so proud of her. And I believe the judges will also give us today another winner who can represent us very well at that Africa Cup of Slam Championship. And that winner also, when he makes it to the quarterfinal, the round of 16, will eventually qualify for the World Slam Championship. And that is something that we are very much looking forward to. I am pretty sure our winner today would be someone who can articulate him or herself, someone who has the poetic skills we're looking for. Because at the African Cup, it's not only about performance, it's about your writing skill, it's about your diction, it's about how well you articulate yourself, but most importantly, delivery. And I'm pretty sure that who we are going to crown as Slam Champion today will be exactly that. I trust the judges, and I'm sure they're going to give us that. So the winner, we want to go home with $50,000. And we're going to do all we can to make sure that they get that. All the others will also have consolation prizes from Action Aid, and we also have some t-shirts for them from Rups. You saw Rups perform earlier here. He has his Domi Reumi shirts, and he's doing very well with that. He's giving the poets as well. And they're also going home with some amount of credit. And I think there's a lot more that will come for these young people, and I can't wait. Thank you all for being a part of us. A big thanks to the Poetry Slam crew for, doing what they can for today to be a success. But I'm sure without you people, it will not be that. So thank you all for coming, and I can't wait to see what we'll bring for you next season. Hopefully you can come out in your numbers as well. At this juncture, I think it's only right that I hand over to the MC to call on the judges to deliver their... Right, but before that, we have certificates, of course, for our judges and partners. And I would like that Fode, you join us here as we give our judges their certificates. Fode, if you can kindly join me on stage, please. Yes, and I'd like that my MC help me do that. so that we can give the judges their certificates.
On behalf of the judges, I'd also like to congratulate all 5 of you, including Modlamin, who is in here, for getting this far. You're amazing, amazing performers. And you know we all believe in you guys, that's why you're here. Round 2 made it very difficult for all of us. Usman, you brought your A game in round 2, and we are amazed at your hold on words. You're an amazing poet, and keep it up. Ami Sohna, more of an acquired taste for me. In the beginning, I was critical, but you wow me every time since then. And I want to say, keep it up. Don't stop writing. Don't stop performing. Bintu, I have to admit, Bintu was an oversight for me. I didn't pay attention to her in the beginning. But as the competition went on, I remember the quarters, I had to ask Kumba, Ki, the football competition, because I didn't notice her before. She's grown with every passing week, and it shows the importance of a platform like this. Adama is one of my our favorite all-time poets at the Poetry Slam. Not just for his skill in playing with words, breaking them down, but in his resilience in coming back. We're proud of you, and we know you won't stop. Even if we don't tell you, we know you won't stop. Modu Lamin isn't here. Modu Lamin was pick of every round. You know, it was always tight between him and whoever was the pick of the round. And we wish him good luck in his endeavors wherever he is. And we also encourage him to keep writing and to keep performing. Now to the order of business. Can I have the 2 gentlemen please come forward to the line that I'm on? One of these gentlemen is in our top 2. The other one is our 4th placed contestant. The one through to our top 2 is no other than Adama. Please put your hands together for Usman Barrow for an amazing journey coming this far. You know it's nothing but love from the judges. Today, Adama was a better performer. Thank you very much. Usman, take a few steps back. One of these ladies, again, is in the top 2, and the other one is our 3rd place contestant. I know there are predictions out there, but when we added our scores, it was super close. All 4 contestants, if you see the scores, you'd understand why I'm shaking right now. I would like to announce that the poet that has made it to the top 2 is no other than Bintu San. Ami Sohna is our 2nd runner-up. Can we have someone hand over her 2nd runner-up certificate? There's no consolation right now for Ami, apart from the fact that I'm sure all the judges would tell you that this competition does not define you, it just makes you better. So keep the faith, keep working, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more of you very soon. Next, I'd like our top 2 contestants to please come forward. Both of you, that's Adama and Bintu. And when I announce the winner, I want a little bit of madness and then a little bit of calm so we can hand over the certificates. the 2021 fourth edition winner of the National Poetry Slam with the theme, the ballot, the vote, the future, is no other than Bintu Sane.
Good decision.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Bintu. And now we invite everyone to come celebrate with the poets. It's been an amazing journey. Congratulations to all the poets. Congrats.